What's going on, gang? It is your boy Bless Quasim, and you are here at a Trans Man Speaks. What's going on, kings, queens, and all in betweens? This is
And I am Wyatt. Welcome, everybody. This is a new layout. Y'all gonna have to get used to this one right here.
Hey, I don't think they're ready, bro. To be honest with you,
I love it though. I love it though. We can focus and get to the topics.
with urgency and
Yeah,
with organization,
exactly.
without being filtered, so many different things.
That part. Let's give it up for that. Let's give it up for no filtration. We not being filtered in 2024, people.
We're not moving forward with that. Again, like we told you guys before, we were coming to you all on our TikTok platform and on our IG platform, and just bring you guys so many different instances of who we are and where we come from. And in order for us to be able to do that, we had to take it to another level, which is now what we're doing now. So again, shout out to StreamYard, which we're using as our newer recording platform to be able to bring you guys these wonderful episodes. But we wanted to bring you guys the realness, the raw us, and what we come for. And the only way to be able to do that is to find a platform and to find uh, the necessary tools to be able to bring you the information and the education that you guys are so dearly wanting and needing, especially from us. So,
Right.
without further ado, brother, go ahead and jump into it.
Okay. All right. So this first one, I believe we said we were going to talk about folks within the trans community detransitioning, correct? Right. Okay, so just some disclaimer here. We are not in any form or fashion about to go on a bashing parade with this topic. This is strictly just educational, and we want to dig deep into this topic because I feel like this is something that isn't talked about enough within the community. And I feel like because it is like so much frowned upon, I would say, among our community, that it doesn't get the right light. In my opinion, that's my opinion. To me, everybody is open to their opinion and how they feel about things, but in my opinion, I did want to hear what you had to say, bro, about what you feel with how people are going about talking as to the reasonings as to why they decided to detransition.
Um, from what I've heard in a lot of different instances, like what I'm trying to do right now is find the actual video
Mhm.
to be able to pull up. And that's another thing that we will be able to now do on our show is be able to pull in
Yes.
videos and to be able to show you guys what we are exactly talking about. And
Mhm.
right now I cannot find it. So my bad, gang. But that's going to be
All
something
right.
or a link that we will link later on down in the show in the
That'd be a good
bio.
idea. Yeah, we can do that.
But to be honest with you, bro, I mean, I feel like it's more so, and excuse me for my siblings, okay? Whether you detransition, don't transition, or do or not, I love you regardless. So don't take this to heart when I do say this. I feel like a lot of it is more so coerced to why can't I get this word out? Coerced,
Of
um,
course. Okay.
due to the world and what's going on and what's surrounding us right now. As a trans community, we are being targeted in so many different ways um that it's crazy. So I feel like it's more so of a coerced thing, and that's because of the scrutiny of the world. I don't feel like a lot of our siblings are detransitioning because it's their choice. I feel like the world is what's causing them to just be like, you know what? I couldn't live as myself then, but I was comfortable. I was a little bit more safer. But
Yeah.
now I feel like I'm being targeted. So now I feel like I have to go back into shelter, or now I feel like I have to go back into what you would actually see as that safe haven.
Conforming. They want to conform.
Right. Like
if you're not trans, then you conform to what you
what the
were.
world wants you to be, whether
So,
it's a cis man, cis woman, or even if you're of the LGBTQ, they still want you to have some type of spectrum, or
yeah,
it still has to
it's
be some type of a label. I don't
yeah.
like. I'm at a point to where as though I don't like the labels, even though I am a trans man and I'm going to die being a trans man, and I'm always going to represent as a trans masculine man. But
Right. It's a lot. I listen. I already know we gonna be stepping on some toes with our opinions on even our community, but there will be times where we don't even talk about our community. We're talking about completely opposite things. But
exactly.
personally, I came across a video. Well, not a video, but a post, I would say, on Instagram, and they were like, it was like 6 different genders that I had no idea that we had in the community, and they all sound extremely similar. It's like they're just trying to make subcategories for every single
it's subcategories based off of your personalities. It's all being broken down. It's all being broken down to personalities, and
right.
It's starting to become sickening because at the end of the day, just let me be a trans man. And at times, if I want to be a trans man and I want to be a sweet trans man for that day, but still, guess what? I will knock your ass out.
But then that even goes into a whole different thing, because then that gets mixed up with your sexual orientation and gender. And so it's like, yeah, because you carry yourself a certain way or you have certain mannerisms, now you fall into this category because you're this type of person and you're this type of man. And there are different kinds of men, guys. So it's like y'all just have to have a label for every single thing. And I know, like you said,
cap on everything.
Yes, it's like, right. So I'm like, I know that we both agree that we are trans men, but we only say that because we don't identify what we were assigned with that birth. Exactly. So we have to say that because you don't want somebody saying, well, why didn't you say you transitioned from this to that? Trans is literally just an adjective. It's just something to describe a portion of something you've done or gone through.
Exactly.
Okay. So it's not all these type of different things that we got going on. Now, I'm not knocking y'all. If y'all want to label yourself 100%, y'all do that. The only thing I care about is, what are your pronouns? Okay, thank you. That's all I need to know.
I don't care about nothing else. I don't care if your pronoun is elephant, monkey, or duck. That's what I'm gonna call you.
Right. That's it.
That's why I feel like that. That's why we'll go back to where I feel like it goes into that coerced, because it's coerced because you have a lot of us that are now, and forgive me, siblings, but y'all know I'm telling the damn truth. We are falling into, some of us, not all of us, because I'm not going to say that word we. Y'all is falling into that spectrum. Y'all,
hey, we gotta be intentional with wording. So
no, I'm seriously, because
that's what I'm saying. We have to be intentional. It's not to be funny, but you have.
I'm not of that spectrum, bro. You feel me? I'm not about to mind you, y'all. I live in Florida. Okay, I live in Florida.
Literally,
they hate us.
Y'all can't even do anything.
They want to pick all of the trans men, women, and children up and throw us in a big bucket of lava.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? You know how many of my trans siblings have decided to pick up and move because of that? You know how many of my trans siblings decided to just fall into the deep heap of depression because of it? Do you know how many of my siblings decided to just be like, you know what? I'm just going to detransition to not have to go to the scrutiny, because when I was just a stud, or when I was just a femme, or when I was just a gay man, nobody really cared. To say the least. But as soon as I said I wanted to change my gender, and as soon as I said that I wanted to change my gender parts, what I was born with, then it became a problem. So a lot of them are going into what I would call shelter.
Yeah.
I don't like it because y'all got me beat. I'm not going back in the shelter for not a goddamn soul. Want me to tell you why? Because I was in shelter for so long. of my life. And y'all, I'm just gonna let y'all know I'm in my 30s. I've said it prior to, and if you are a fan, you know exactly how old I am. But if you are a
Right.
new subscriber or somebody just now coming into, y'all gonna have to guess. But I'm in my 30s.
I gotta guess with me because I have to pretend not to be my age a lot of times.
I mean, me too. Hey, I'm 26. But
Right.
yeah, I'm in my 30s, and I ultimately have went through a lot of trials, tribulations, and tribulations. But I be damned if in my 30s, after fighting in my teens, in my 20s, and now that I'm in my 30s, I'm about to let
Listen,
no,
let me tell you, no.
no, no.
Yeah, I
Excuse me,
mean,
y'all. I'm over here nibbling, and I ain't ate all day.
I agree with you on, some of the reasoning that people detransition, but I have had actual conversations with people that have decided to detransition. And it hasn't been just the scope of seeing a video of a person detransition or anything like that, because I'm the type of individual, I take social media with a grain of salt. So you could post something today and decide that you're completely something else in 2 weeks from now. So I take it
I'm a
100%.
I'm a monkey. No,
Right.
I'm
I
a
take it with a grain of
dinosaur.
salt. 100%. But I have had, actual personal conversations with people who have decided to detransition. And there are some people that were just like, honestly, I didn't get enough, psychiatric or professional help before deciding to go on HRT. And I listened to my peers that said, oh, I might be this or I might be that. A lot of them felt peer pressure. A lot of them did not like how they felt on hormone replacement
After
therapy.
the fact.
After the fact. So I like for people to not wrap us all into one person's idealism of why they detransition, because that kind of eradicates and this invalidates a person's actual experience to me. So yeah, I
I
don't
mean,
want to transition. I don't consider what I did a detransition. I tell people I didn't detransition. I just stopped taking hormone replacement
I
therapy.
see,
I didn't
and
go
that was,
all the
and I'm
way.
glad that you just said that, baby bro,
Yeah.
because a lot of people feel like they have to be on the hormonal replacement therapy to be able to be a trans person. You do not
You
have
don't.
to be on any forms of medication or any forms of hormone replacement therapy or blockers, anything.
Yeah.
You don't have to do that. And the reason
Nothing.
why
You don't have to do any of that.
how you
So
identify is what makes you comfortable. How you identify is what makes you live on a daily basis. So at the end of the day, I wouldn't give a damn. Like I said earlier, if y'all called yourself Duck, guess what? I'd be like, Ducky, hey,
right.
hey
Right.
Ducky,
I don't care. If you just want to be referred to by your name, I'm just gonna say your name.
right?
And I just want us to go into a space where even people outside of our community can see that it's more than just about our identities. It's more than just about who we are as trans people. It's about us as individuals. Like it's really simple. If you tell me your name is Greg, but your mom named you Henry, I don't care. You said your name is Greg, right? All right, Greg. Nice to meet you. What do you do for a living? I want to know you. Like, I don't care about what you say, who you are, what. I want to know who you are as a person. What are your characteristics? What are your traits? Why do you not talk to your family? What is going on? I want to know about you. I don't care about what you identify as. I don't care about what your name is. I don't care. You tell me your pronouns, I'm going to respect it. It's so simple, but I feel like people are so wrapped up in this idea that they have to be for or against something to stay relevant. And it doesn't have to be that way. It really don't.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, I absolutely concur. You have a lot of people that feel like they need a lot of validation for a lot of things that they do as well.
I made a video about that.
Uh, uh,
It's
um,
very,
uh,
very, very good. I was
So
very, very vivid in that video.
it goes. There's a lot of different levels to why people might do it or the reasoning why they do it. Now, when I do talk to my siblings that are like, "Yo, I really just couldn't do it. It wasn't mentally for me, even though
Right.
mentally that's what I really wanted. But based off of when I actually started taking the medication, I
You're right.
couldn't take,
Mhm.
excuse me, I couldn't take the ups, the downs, the lefts, the rights,
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
couldn't take the way my body was changing in the manner that it was changing. I thought that it was going to be glitz and glamour, but again, like you said, a
I
lot of
agree.
people went into the spectrum of not knowing what they were getting themselves into outside of what they might have just heard
Right.
versus i.e. um you know their research or just having somebody in their spectrum of their circle, family members, whatever, who might have already went through it. So you get the ones that are just like, you know what, hey, my classmate doing it, I'm a stud or I'm a STEM or Bush,
Mm.
whatever you identify as.
Whatever. Yeah.
And this is something that I've really been wanting to do, but you're just doing it because this is something that you really wanted to do because you wanted to be born a guy at birth. And that's what a lot of us go through. You wanted to be a guy born at birth so bad that now that you have the opportunity, you have somewhat of the knowledge, you jump right into it, not even really having the full
You understand.
overall spectrum or understanding or
Mhm.
education on what you're actually getting yourself into.
Right.
So like I said, my main thing is more so a coerced thing. Like you said, you feel like people are like peer pressured because of the people that are around them that's doing it.
Mhm.
It's kind of the same thing of being coerced because
Yeah.
guess what? Monkey see, monkey do. I'm going to do it, and that's my feelings. So that's kind of how I jumped on it. Um,
Mhm.
but the next couple minutes, I want us both to kind of like tap into what we and how uh, we deal with the idealistic portion of the people around us that are detransitioning and how that does it affect us emotionally. Um, because me, I've had at least 7 to 8 brothers detransition.
Yeah.
So they are no longer brothers. They're now back to being my sisters, which is no issue. I'm
Mhm.
still love them 100%, but it's still an emotional battle to know that some of them out of the 6 or 7, oh no, wait, out of the 8 that
Mhm.
uh, a lot of their main reasonings, well, I'll say 3 out of the 8 is more on the mental standpoint. Um,
Yeah.
and then the remaining are just like, I can't take the scrutiny of the world, which a lot of people can't take being beat up. They can't take being, just judged daily, all day, every day.
Constantly, all the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I feel it, it's felt heavenly because I don't want of none of our trans siblings to feel like, hey, look, at the end of the day, you know what I mean? Hey, my
Mhm.
brother gave up on me because I decided to go back to where I was. Because at the end of the day, that's never going to
Mhm.
be my instance when it comes down to my siblings that decided to
Yeah.
transition. But my biggest thing is just still being there for you, supportive wise, because now you're going backwards in reverse.
Yeah.
Now you're still going to have to go through all of these emotions, all of these ups, downs,
Yeah.
left, rights, and
And
go back
transitioning back to who
exactly.
you were. Mhm.
So that it's just kind of concerning for me for some of them,
Yeah.
because mentally a few of them aren't there because
Yeah.
of their transition and going where they
Yeah.
were, lack of support, stuff of that
Mhm.
nature. So and that's another major one too, lack of support. Like, all right, well, y'all supported me a little bit more as a stud, STEM, whatever you identified as before you
Mhm.
started, or even if you was just a cis woman and like, hey, look, hey, I want a peen. Like, what the fuck? Like, for real. So, I mean, I don't know, bro. I mean, what's your take on it? To be honest.
I mean, honestly, I don't have too much to say on that topic. I mean, besides, like you said, you pretty much covered everything that we said that I was thinking too. I mean, I do feel bad for the ones that do struggle mentally, detransitioning, going back to their assigned at birth gender and sex. And I do feel bad for them in a way of their mental health. I don't feel bad. I feel concerned. I don't like saying feel bad.
Yeah,
I feel
that yeah, concerned. We're concerned.
because at the end of the day, like I said, I love people for people. I don't love people for a label. I don't love you for what you identify as. I like you for who you are. If you are a good person, a kind person, and your heart is in the right place, I'll be right beside you all day long.
10 toes down.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, everybody's decisions in their life are their decisions. I can only talk about how I feel on the topic, but at the end of the day, what you decide to do with your life is what you decide to do with your life. But that's why I said what I said earlier. The only thing I stress so much is mental freaking health. I can be trans, I can be queer, I can be gay, I can be bisexual, I can be pansexual, I can be all of those things. But if my mental, what the hell did
What the hell just happened?
Can you hear me still?
Yeah, I can still hear you, but why did that just happen?
I have no idea.
Technical difficulties, ladies and gentlemen.
Sorry. I can see myself. Can you see me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, sorry. Back to it's a little small space. Okay, that was weird.
I didn't know what happened.
Okay, but back to my train of thought. We don't get sidetracked. Technical difficulty. We back now. But yeah, I stress consistently. I'm a mental health advocate. Off the rip, off top. If my mental health is being damaged by any of this, I will stop. And that's what I did. And that's what I did. And if I feel like some of our who used to be brothers now feel like, hey, it was something I wanted to do with my journey. I thought I wanted to do it. But listen, I feel like a woman still. So I'm going to go back to where I know I reside.
I'd be like, hey, sis.
Okay, cool with me.
Hey, sis. Hey,
because as I said, in the day, it ain't my life, and there was something I came across that I'm learning about myself as I go through my journey. As I know I will never get on HRT ever again in my life.
Yeah,
and I'm okay with that. Yeah. So, and I think people look at me crazy when I'm like, I'm a trans man, but I haven't been on T for 2 years, and they're like, what? What do you mean? Oh, are you detransit? No. I just said I'm a trans man who just isn't on HRT. Exactly. And that's where I feel like the heel is at. I feel like we don't have enough education within our own community, especially with our trans youth, for them to understand that people like me and you fought for certain rights so that you guys can just do whatever you need to do to be trans.
Man, look, let me tell you something. Y'all don't understand the scrutiny of how me and this young man right here have ultimately, and when I say ultimately, started this podcast for our community, for our cis allies, for people who have no recollection. So I'm glad that you said that, because at the end of the day, that we're, like my brother said, we don't care what you do with your life, long as you understand and take the information that we're trying to give towards for you, some type of grain of salt. Like, just take it with something. I don't care if it's a small snippet of what we're trying to get across, but I feel like our views are kind of on the same spectrum. But we have different levels, and that's what I love about our show. We have different levels of our intake on what goes on within our community and what we deal with dealing with different trans people that we associate with. So that's what makes this show, people.
Right. It ain't about us agreeing on everything.
Oh
He
no.
has his perspective on things. I have my perspective. Life is perspectives. So it's all about perception. If I have viewed something in a different light than he's viewed it, then that's still valid because that's the way that I saw it. And if he's viewed something in a different light, then it's still valid because that's the way he saw it. And that's what a lot of is also missed in translation is that people think that people are supposed to see everything the same. And we're not. It's never meant to be that way. The only thing that aligns with all of us is that we're all going to pass away one day. Honestly, that's the only thing.
Wait. Say that one more time for the ones in the back, because I don't even think I heard you correctly.
The only thing that we all have in common, ultimately, that is exactly the same, is death. That's it.
Sir,
all of our lives are completely different paths. Except for the fact that the destination is all going to end up the same.
Sir, if I could poke you through here.
I'm just saying what everybody need to be saying. So,
sir,
live your life.
Okay.
Live your life, honey, because you only get one. And then sometimes you come back, but that's for spiritual people. But live your life. In this lifetime, you get this lifetime once. This is the lifetime you have in this life right now.
Exactly.
Live it. If you want to make a decision, you want to change that decision, do it. But do your best to get education, y'all, on anything that can be damaging to your mental, that can be changing to your mental. I don't care if you are trans. If you just want to say you are he, him, and you used to be she, her, just do that. You have people in your community that are willing to reach out to you and say, hey, I did that. I didn't go through any type of HRT. I am 50 something years old and I am a trans person and I am happy about it. And I didn't go through any type of therapy. Exactly. Talk to those people.
Exactly.
Start getting with y'all.
You have two men here that are aligned on the same spectrum on so many different levels. And what I mean by that is this man feels when something's wrong with me. I feel when something's wrong with him. But guess what, though? That's just a spiritual connection that we have. But guess what? I'm on T. He's not.
Nope.
But we are still trans siblings, regardless.
Ain't it the truth? Tell them.
Nah, for real. Like, seriously. Like, and that's, like I said, that's what makes our platform and that's what makes us different from a lot of the other trans shows out here, because you have two different trans men walking in two different spectrums that can give it to you in two different lights, two different opinions, and two different understandings. And that's what we are bringing forward to you guys. Yes, the main 100%. Topic was to hint on the detransitioning story that I had read. And again, I'm going to leave you guys the link in the bio. It's something that I've seen on our platform. Welcome to YouTube.
Hey, first of all, let's say congratulations to us for our first YouTube episode.
Yes.
Okay, I want to make light before we end off the show. I want us to always like make light for things because some of the topics are heavy and can be different.
Daily affirmations. I'm just
not that. I got a question for you. Okay, now,
Lord.
Okay, if so you were
go question for question each episode,
we can do that. I don't mind. Right, okay, so if you were to ever if you ever were, this is just stuff. If you were ever to detransition, listen, hear me out. If you were ever detransition,
what? Okay, I got it. Okay, you made my little name pop out my head. Wait a minute. Okay,
what would you name yourself again?
Damn sure not Kiana. Fuck.
Like, if you think about how you would end up looking again if you were detransition.
First of all, I'd be a bad bitch. Sorry.
Okay. Period. Period.
See. No.
Because period. Material girl.
Period. Okay.
I stumped you with that one. I stumped them. I knew I did.
Okay, so truth be told, if I really had to go back and rename myself, I would rename myself my grandmother's first name.
Oh, that's sweet.
Marion. Fuck you.
I can't imagine calling you Marion. Old as hell. Marion.
Marion, put that shit down.
Marion, stop twerking. Get off of the stage.
Hey, Marion, why you got to put your booty shorts on? You couldn't put on a regular pair of slacks today. Yeah. Nah, seriously.
Yeah, that's funny.
My grandmother was always my heart. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
Marion, of course, is a unisex name. And what's crazy is I live in the county that we live in is Marion Oaks.
Dang, your grandma was right alongside with you the whole time.
Yeah, somehow, some way, it's always either a street, a store, or the actual county that is named after her. So she's always with me. That's my baby. That's my spiritual guidance all day, every day. But if I had to rename myself, it would either be Marion, or I had to come through with like Anastasia, or like I don't want to be a Brittany or Ashley or Whitney or Kelly. No.
Hey, chill on my name, all right?
Or I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with your name. I'm just saying I don't know, like that ass. It would my number one go-to would be Marion. But if I had to like switch it up on you, I'd get y'all like a Lauren. Or like
I can see Lauren. Like, I ain't about to lie. I can see you as a Lauren. I don't know why. I can see you as a Lauren.
Like a Lauren, or I steal my little sister name, Savannah. You know what I'm saying? Or if I really had to go there, you know what I'm saying? Georgia. Georgia. Nah, fuck that. Georgia, you have to go. Georgia is in the making for the both of us, because Georgia is what helped but didn't really pave our way, but it really got us.
Georgia
is where we met.
Yeah.
Georgia is where I was living at the time.
Started my modeling career. Like all of that.
Started my modeling career in Georgia.
Yeah. It is definitely
Georgia to Florida, and I'm always in Atlanta. I told your sister, I was like, yo, we need a second pad. She was like, why? I said, because I'm tired of paying Uncle Sam them dollars for them hotels.
Yeah. Man.
But yeah,
so
man.
Tax write-offs next year. That's all I know.
Exactly.
Man. I mean, if I detransition and went back, I'd probably just use my middle name. I ain't about to lie to you. I'd use my middle name.
Don't know your middle name, and we not.
Sure know.
But
sure know. I'll use it.
Charnel.
Yeah.
Okay. I wouldn't use my middle name. Want me to tell you why? Marie. Bitch, why? No.
Maria.
That right. Right.
I'll be saying that like a West Side Story.
Look, more like a West Indian story, goddamn it. Anyway.
I just wanted to like ask that question because like as people get used to watching, as y'all get used to watching our podcast, like I don't want y'all to feel like it's one of whatever, bro.
They will see a lot of sides of us.
Yeah, and like I want everybody to have a good time when they come to our podcast too. Like it's meant to be different rides of emotion. It's not meant to be dead on serious and so strictly up your butt type energy all the damn time. Like I mean, we've seen some. I've watched all of these different kinds of podcasts that not even just they're not LGBTQ. I've watched regular old podcasts that have nothing to do with LGBTQ, and I just watch and I'm just like, hey, it's just the same topics and conversations over and over again, and y'all just keep bashing people. Like it's nothing. There's nothing uplifting. It's not encouraging. Y'all are debating back and forth between each other all the time. Like it's a fight and an argument. But I just want us to always have, when we do have our guests on here, like I want them to have a good time, like have games, questions. Y'all have a good ass time watching us.
Shots for shots.
Huh? The shots. We gonna do shots?
Shots for shots. No, what I'm saying is when we have our guests on, when we ask our questions or do our like, oh, we bringing y'all a whole bunch of stuff. Truth or dare. If you lie, the actual answer. You're gonna take a shot. Oh yeah, it's
yeah. And I got the do or drink game too. So. So we got some ways, we got some things that are gonna be implemented on these episodes for y'all through YouTube.
Now, moving forward, we will still be going live gradually when we have the ultimate time to just get you guys' feedback, to talk to our fan base on what actually might be transpiring on our episodes, what you might like to see, and just really to kind of like piggyback to give you a live feedback on your comments that you leave on our YouTube channel. So like dead ass, y'all, we are moving on so many different lights with this, and I'm hoping you guys enjoy this first episode, bro. Like we really came. Oh wait, pause, nigga. It's almost our anniversary. No, it's past our anniversary.
Well, since we created the idea, yeah, it's been past.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's been a year. We've known each other a year now.
Yes. Yeah. And look where a year will take you. And this is another thing we want to bring to you guys. Like, don't ever be scared to just get out there and branch out to start talking to your siblings in your community. Because you never know where it's Because guess what? That whole night when me and this man met each other, you would have thought we known each other for 10 plus years. But guess what?
And honestly, a lot of people thought that, like, via social media, people were like, oh, we thought y'all already knew each other. I was like, no, I just met that man. We was drinking bananas, then we started getting drunk. No. Like, that's all we did. And we talked
and called it a day. And really talked about some gradual shit that needed to be discussed. And this was before the drinks, people. The drinks was just made it extra.
That is true. It was before the drinks, but then after the drinks, we really got into it. Yeah, and started to talk about like a lot of different stuff. But that's just our personalities together, honestly.
Right?
But I'm glad you said that.
And with that being stated, our personalities is what brings you guys again, like I state all the time, this show. And without further ado, hey, bro, it's a Trans Man Speaks.
Hey, it's been a Trans Man Speaks, y'all. I'm Wyatt.
This episode, I hope you guys love, like. And make sure you guys also subscribe to the channel.
Yes.
Also, make sure you go and follow us at A Trans Man Speaks on IG and on TikTok. We are on all platforms at A Trans Man Speaks. So we'll see you guys next episode. And next episode, we got some heat for y'all. So again, kings, queens, and in-betweens, I'm out. I'm Blessed Qasim.
I'm Wyatt.
And we are out. See y'all next go.
Hey.